Now, another important thing about working with JavaScript is that uh, there's a good chance that you will need to, there will be a lot of questions around ES6, and you should be very comfortable on this. This reason being that uh, a lot of new code in JavaScript is written in ES6. So when JavaScript is compared to other languages, there were a lot of features which weren't in JavaScript. So they had to introduce a lot of new features to support the demand for JavaScript. So JavaScript shot up like mad over the last 10, 15 years, and it had to be more robust when it comes to some of the programming concepts. So this is where they introduced a lot of new features or more features that kind of make sense with respect to other programming languages. So that when somebody, so that it makes sense for someone to choose JavaScript for their tech stack as such. So var, let, const. Uh, Before there was only var. With the introduction of let and const, there has been more strict type checking for variables itself. So you can have a variable like Masai here, and this can be now block scoped. Uh, Even const, you are able to now define const, something that cannot be changed. Sorry, const. Uh, so the value of const now cannot be changed. So reassignment or redeclaration is not allowed. So that's with and it blocks code. When it comes to let, re-declaration is not allowed. Also, important note, both of hoisting does not take place for let or const. So there's a lot of scoping changes when it comes to these. So there will be many questions regarding scopes that you can get. So for example, if you had and you are supposed to write console log of name, and you say var of name is equal to Bangalore, you were to run the program called test, and we run this, we get undefined as the answer. So sometimes what you would think is that since name comes before this line here, it should refer to this name. But that's not really happening. What's happening is that it is hoisting takes place, and we create something called var name at this point, right? So that is very important for you to take note of. So this is also called as variable shadowing, and that's why we have the values come down like this. Now, if this was let, for example, we would get a reference error. All right, even though you would try to access this let here, that does not happen. All right, we would get a reference error at this point. If this wasn't there, then it would refer to the global scope, global let. All right, so those are some important things about let and const. Now, const, even though the name suggests that it is a constant and cannot change as such, if you were to have an array or an object, the items inside the array or the object can still change. Okay, so the value inside the array can change. It's only the type that cannot change. If it is a primitive, then the value also cannot change. So if you had something like this, you can change the value to something like this, and you can console.log of last name, and you would get the output here. So this is some of the difference, some of the things they might ask you about const, how values inside const can change.